So you draw the bending moment diagram when the UDL was there. We have drawn it for the point loads. I have explained you in the previous lecture also about the equilibrium and the conditions, their conditions. After that, we have seen what is sagging moment, what is hogging moment, where the compressive stresses are developed, where the tensile stresses are developed, why the sign conventions of bending moments are like that. When the sagging moment is positive, then the directions of the moment which are shown, which you find difficult to understand the sign conventions, that also we have seen. Okay, now after that, now we will move to our first unit now today, and we will start with the introduction unit. Okay, so unit number 1, introduction. So I will give the heading over here. So unit number 1, okay, this is your first unit. It is introduction. So in the examination, very less questions will be asked on this unit, as this is the theoretical unit. Okay, in this, from this unit only MCQs will be asked for the examination, 3 to 4 MCQs. uh, that's it. Now if your paper is offline, right now we don't know how your examination will be there, it is online or offline, but for the offline examination, there will be no question will be asked, as it is a theoretical chapter. Okay, there is no design in this chapter, so this is important from the point of view of MCQs. Okay, and to understand some concepts. So now we will see that in this unit I have already, we have gone through the syllabus. Okay, we know what is there in this first unit. So there are three basic, there are three methods of design. Okay, when you are going to design anything, what is the meaning of design? Okay, what is the meaning of design, and what is the meaning of analysis? So design analysis means evaluation of the forces. Okay, analysis means evaluation of forces. This is nothing but your analysis. Suppose now, suppose now a block is there. Okay, now if you want to design this block, suppose now you want to design this block B. Okay, so before designing, design means it is not the thing that if you today you thought that the dimension is 200 by 400 and you have provided the cross sectional dimension as 200 by 400, whatever you want you provided the dimensions. It is not like that. Okay, first of all you need to analyze what is the state of this block. So which forces are acting on the block? Suppose now from this direction one force is acting, from this direction another force is acting, some another force is acting, like this way. Okay, so after the calculating each of these force, okay, after the calculating the value of each of these force, you will see that how much shear force is getting developed on this block and how much bending moment is getting developed on this block, and based on these two we are going to fix the dimension. So finding out the forces, okay, the process of finding out the forces which are acting, this is nothing but analysis. This is called as analysis. Okay, and after finding out the forces, we fix the dimensions. Okay, we fix the dimensions, we provide the steel quantity. Okay, steel quantity, that is the diameter of bar, its spacing. Okay, so and the different checks for safety. So all this comes under the design. All this comes under the design. Now I hope you understood the difference between analysis and design. Okay, so in the limit statement, sorry, in the for the design or for the analysis and design, there are three methods are there. Okay, so as this is the theoretical chapter now, I will write simultaneously on the board while explaining you. You should also copy down. These are the important notes. Okay, so see. there are some methods. The following design methods, the following design methods are used are used for design of RCC structures. For design of RCC structures. Now we will see these methods. Okay. So the first method, working stress method. Working stress method. Second method is ultimate state method. You write down this with me. Okay. And third is limit state method. Limit state method. Okay. Now mostly now this limit state method is used. Okay, nowadays this limit state method is used. These two methods were used earlier. Okay, but some of the drawbacks are there for these two methods, so that is why now the limit state method is used. Okay, so all the IS codes, okay, our Indian IS code, that is IS 456 2000, IS 456 2000, this IS code is revised for limit state of method. Earlier it was a working stress method. Still, for the water tanks, we use the working stress method. Okay. So nowadays, all the structures, whatever you are going to see, slab, beam, column, a footing, a pile foundation, anything, retaining wall, and all those things, those are designed by using the limit state method. Okay, and this is IS 456 is the code for designing the structures. Okay, we will use the clauses in this code while designing the structures. Okay. So now we will see one by one. In short, what are these methods? Okay, so this method is not for your syllabus, working stress method. This working stress method is not in your syllabus. Ultimate state method is also not there for your syllabus for the design. Okay, in this subject, we will see only the limit state method of design, and this method is used in the market nowadays. Okay, in all over the world only the limit state method is used. So first of all we will see working stress method. So first heading, working stress method. I will give you some notes about this method, so you copy down these notes from here. Okay, write with me simultaneously. Working stress method. in this method in this method structures are analyzed. Structures are analyzed analyzed by the elastic theory. By the elastic theory. Okay, so elastic theory is considered over here, that is your Hooke's law. When stress is directly proportional to strain, and after the uh, point of proportionality passes, then still there is a relation between stress strain, but it is not the linear relation. Okay, so before entering into the plastic state, okay, so this working stress method is based on the elastic theory. And the stresses the members the stresses and the members are considered are considered for normal normal working load condition. So normal working load condition. So the stresses and the members which are considered over here are for the normal working load conditions. Now I will tell you what is the working load and what is the ultimate load. Okay. So now see, suppose now a block is there. Okay, a block is there, and we want to design this block. Okay, so before design we will do analysis, and while doing the analysis we found that the forces acting on this block are of magnitude 100 kilonewton. For your understanding, just I am taking the values. Suppose now before designing this block we analyze this block, how many which type of forces are coming on the block and what is the magnitude of the forces. Then we came to know that this is the direction of the forces and this is the magnitude 100 kilonewton. Then this 100 kilonewton is called as working load. This 100 kilonewton is called as working load. Okay, and this is done in the working stress method. So whatever actual load coming on the structure, whatever the actual load is acting on that structure, that is considered in the working stress method. Okay, so thus it says that the stresses and the members are considered for normal working load conditions. Okay, so the stresses and the members are considered for normal working load conditions. This is the next one. Okay. So no attention is given. So what is the drawback of this method now? See, I am writing over here. No attention, no attention is given, no attention is given to the condition that arises at the time of structure collapse. At the time of structure collapse. Now this is very important point. See over here, what is the next point? No attention is given to the condition that arises at the time of structure collapse. आता मी तुम्हाला मगाशीच सांगितलं होतं की now if we are, this is the block, we want to design the block, we have done the analysis, we found that 100 kilonewton is the force which is acting on the block. Now in the working stress method, this is your working load. Okay, working load. But what will happen if now suppose somehow now you have designed this block for 100 kilonewton, and if your load increased to 110 kilonewton, then what will happen? What will happen? Obviously the cracks will develop in this block and this block will fail. Okay, cracks will develop in this block and this block will fail. Okay, so this is a failure is called as collapse. Collapse is nothing but failure. The another word for failure is collapse. So at the time of collapse, what is the loading condition now? 110. Why it is collapse for 110? Because we have designed it for 100 kilonewton. So there is no special attention is provided in the working stress method to this condition. If the working load is increased or working stress is increased, then what to do? There is no attention is given towards it. Okay, so here the third point says that no attention is given to the condition that arises at the time when the structure collapse. Okay, So now I hope you understood that what is the working load, working stress method, and why this method is not used. This method is not used because they have not provided any attention towards the collapse of the structure, or towards that the condition when it comes to the collapse. Okay, so this is the brief information about the working stress method. Just for your understanding, there is lot of things which are there in the working stress method. Okay, so but for your understanding, what is the working stress method? I have given you some background of this. Okay, so now after the this working stress method, our second method is ultimate load method or ultimate stress method. Okay, or ultimate state method. So this method is also known as ultimate, second is ultimate state method. Ultimate state method. Now it is obvious that now this is the second method which is evolved after the working stress method. So you can easily imagine that now in this method, this difficulty of working stress method is overcome. This difficulty of working stress method is overcome. Okay, naturally. So they have added some factor of safety. So what they have done, uh, that if the load coming on the structure is 100 kilonewton, they are designing the structure for 150 kilonewton. So even though in the future if there is some increase in the load, the structure won't fail. So in this way, in the ultimate state method, it overcomes from the this condition of working stress method. So earlier after working stress method, people used to design the structure by using this ultimate state method after this working stress. Okay, but there is drawback in the ultimate
Means
state method. In the ultimate state method, they have not paid attention towards the serviceability, durability of the structure. Okay, serviceability, durability, and the deformation of the structure. So that is why this method is also get outdated after some years. So we will see some points from this method, ultimate load method or ultimate state method. Okay, so the first point here is, so you write simultaneously with me, an alternative method, and alternative method of design, an alternative method of design that was that was developed that was developed that was developed ultimate load, ultimate load is called as ultimate state method. Okay, so now I will explain you this point. What does it mean now? Again, same example. Okay, again, if I consider this block, now again I want to design this block. Okay, so this is the block. I want to design it now. So this is resting over. So for your understanding, I have shown it like this. So I want to design this. Now what is happening in the working stress method? Suppose now the forces are acting on this block like this. Okay, and we have done the analysis and we calculate that these forces are 100 kilonewton. So this 100 kilonewton is nothing but your working load. This 100 kilonewton is nothing but your working load. Now this theory, ultimate state method, develops a theory of ultimate load. Now what is the ultimate load? What they have done, uh, they have suggested some factor of safety. Okay, so what they have done, they said that instead of designing the structure for this 100 kilonewton working load, you multiply this 100 kilonewton by 1.5, and if you multiply it by 1.5, the value is 150 kilonewton, and design the structure for this 150 kilonewton instead of this 100. Design the structure for this 150 kilonewton, and this 150 is nothing but it is the ultimate load. This is called as ultimate load. Okay, so this method becomes quite popular because it overcomes the defect from working stress method by introducing this. So basically ultimate load factor is introduced by the limit state method, and instead of designing for the actual load, they have kept some factor of safety, and they have designed for the value of the load above that load which is actually coming on the structure. Okay, so this 1.5 is the value for factor of safety. It varies from 1.5 to 2.5 depending upon the structure. Generally for the residential type of building, slab, beam, column, it remains as 1.5. For some structures, that is retaining walls, dams, which are large structures, we keep much more factor of safety, that is from in between 2.5 to 3. Okay, and this factor of safety is recommended by this method, ultimate state method. Okay, so now moving further, so this is your ultimate state method. Now in this method also, in this method also, the ratio of the collapse load to the working load is known as load factor or factor of safety. Here the ratio of collapse load, the ratio of collapse load, that is the ultimate load, to the working load, is known as is known as load factor or factor of safety. Load factor. Okay, so what is the load factor? So load factor is nothing but load factor is equal to, you can write over here, it is the collapse load, or the another name for this is ultimate load divided by this, divided by what, working load. So for your understanding, I will take some value. Now, what is the load factor? See, if the block working load on the block, or the previous example of the block. So suppose the working load of the block is 100 kilonewton. Okay, but we designed that block for 150 kilonewton. But we designed that block for 150 kilonewton for our safety, so that in future if the load is increases, then also that will sustain the load. That is the purpose behind it. So if you do the calculation, then what value you will get? You will get here the value 1.5. So this 1.5 is nothing but this is your load factor. This 1.5 is nothing but this is the load factor, or this is also called as factor of safety. So this is introduced by ultimate load method first time. Okay, so but there is one drawback of this system, as we have seen that over here, what I have told you, in working stress method the structures are analyzed by the elastic theory. Okay, But what happens in the limit state method? In the limit state method, it utilizes the large reserve of the strength in plastic region. Okay, so it reserves the large strength from the inelastic region. Okay, so because of which the members are very slender. If you design the members by using this ultimate state method, then the dimensions of the members are reduced. So the members are very thin and slender. Okay, and if the members are very thin and those members are the slender members, then the deflection in the members are much more as compared to the working stress method. ओके, तर साहजिक आहे ना, एखादा जर मी मेंबर असेल किंवा एखादा स्ट्रक्चर असेल, इफ आय एम डिझायनिंग दॅट स्ट्रक्चर बाय युझिंग वर्किंग स्ट्रेस मेथड and if I got the dimension of that structure as, suppose, imagine 400 by 400, that is my cross sectional dimension of that structure. Okay, any rectangular structure may be there, 400 by 400. I got these dimensions by using the working stress method. But if the same member, if I design by using the ultimate state method, and after designing I finalized the dimension as 200 by 200. Suppose, now imagine 200 by 200. Now by the ultimate state method, the cross sectional dimensions I am getting is 200 by 200, and by working stress method it is 400 by 400. So it is very good. By ultimate state method I am saving my money, it is economical. डायमेन्शन रिड्यूस झाला म्हणजे तुमचे पैसे वाचले ना तेवढं कास्टिंग करायचे. बट ॲट द सेम टाइम द ड्रॉबॅक ऑफ दिस इज what is happening in the working stress method. The deflection of the structure is less because the dimensions are more, and in the ultimate state method, as you reduce the dimensions, the member is thin, so that is why its deflection is excess, and due to the increases, and due to the increase in deflection, due to the excessive deflection of the structure, the cracks will develop in the structure and structure will fail ultimately. Okay, so this is the drawback of this ultimate state method. Now hope you understand what is the drawback of working stress method and what is the drawback of ultimate state method. So our third method is the limit state method, and limit state method is the combination of these two methods, and that method which we are using right now. Okay, so I have explained you the points already, so we will write it down, the points over here, whatever I have just explained to you now. Okay, so here I will write, since, you also copy down this, since the method utilizes a large reserve of strength of strength in plastic region, that is inelastic region. Okay, inelastic region means plastic region. Okay, due to which due to which due to which the resulting structure the resulting structure is is very slender. Slender means thin or thin. Thin or thin. Okay, so this point I have already told you. Okay, so you have studied the stress strain curve for the steel, so accordingly from that example I will give you one thing, that is up to A to O to A it is perfectly elastic, A to B still it is in the elastic zone. Okay, but once the upper yield point reached, okay, after that the plastic zone starts. So this theory is basically governs or depends upon the plastic region much more. Okay, due to which after design the thickness of the member reduces. Okay, so but what will happen due to this? This gives this gives this gives rise to excessive deformation. Excessive deformation. Deformation means deflection. Okay, and cracking and cracking. Okay, so this is the one thing. Also in this method also in this method also in this method no attention is given towards attention is given towards serviceability requirement requirements and durability of the structure. Okay, so this is why nowadays this method is also outdated. Okay, so ultimate state method or ultimate load method is not used nowadays. Okay, so it is not in the use. Now the next is our final method. Now by using this method we are going to design everything, that is the limit state method. That is the limit state method. Okay, so write down some information about this. So we have seen that we have seen that that why working stress method gives, we have seen that why working stress method gives satisfactory performance of the structure at working loads. Seen that why working stress method gives gives satisfactory performance satisfactory factory performance of the structure. कधी satisfactory performance of the structure असणार आहे at working loads. Okay, once the load is increased, then it will not give you the satisfactory performance at working loads. But it is unrealistic unrealistic at at ultimate state of collapse. Okay, म्हणजे काय म्हटलेले यांनी? So we are giving some introduction why we switch to the limit state method. First we have written about something about working stress method. So working stress method gives the satisfactory performance of the structure under the working conditions only, that is under for the working load only. Okay, if the working load is there, then that method seems to be fine, that gives you the satisfactory performance. But if the load increases and it increase up to the ultimate state, okay, if the load increases and it goes to the ultimate load, then this method fails miserably. Okay, there is no provision in this method that the structure will get sustained after the load increased. मग तसंच ह्याच्यामध्ये काय अल्टिमेट मध्ये काय सो सिमिलरली okay, similarly while the ultimate load method, why the ultimate load method ultimate load method provides provides realistic realistic assessment realistic assessment of safety but it does not guarantee but it does not guarantee satisfactory serviceability. I have explained you already these things, that is why I am writing here quickly so that you can copy it down. Serviceability requirements requirements at at service load. Okay, at the service load. ह्या दोन्हीचे आपण पहिल्यांदा we have written just information about these two methods, why this is to be chosen and why it is to be rejected. Now an ideal method and an ideal method an ideal method is one which takes into account which takes into account which takes into account not only not only ultimate strength not only ultimate strength of the structure but also but also the the serviceability but also but also the serviceability and durability requirements and durability requirements. So what does it says that an ideal method is one which takes into the account only not only the ultimate strength of the structure but also the serviceability and durability requirements. मी तुम्हाला जे सांगितलं की working stress method why it is failing due to the excessive load. So ultimate strength is not considered, ultimate load is not considered. In the ultimate load method or ultimate strength method, it is good, it considers the ultimate strength and load, but it doesn't pay attention towards the serviceability, durability, deformation of the structure. Okay, so to overcome this, an ideal method should be like this, that it should consider this ultimate strength of the structure as well as it should consider this serviceability, durability, deflection criteria. Okay, so that is what we have written here in the red ink. That is what given over here. So the newly emerging limit state method of design is originated towards the simultaneous satisfaction of all the requirements. So here the next point is, okay, that the newly emerging the newly emerging limit state the newly emerging limit state method of design is is oriented towards the simultaneous simultaneous satisfaction of all these requirements all these requirements. Okay, so this new method, which is the limit state, it gives the simultaneous satisfaction of all the requirements. This new method this new method makes makes judicious a judicious combination of of all the all the working stress philosophy all the working stress philosophy working stress philosophy as well as as well as ultimate load philosophy ultimate load, or you can say state philosophy. So what does it say? This new method is a judicious combination of, so this is the combination of working stress philosophy, so working stress method, as well as limit state upload, as well as ultimate load method or ultimate load philosophy. Okay, so this is the introduction. Now next the next thing is, what is the limit state method now? Okay, so this is the definition of this. The acceptable limit, the acceptable the acceptable limit of safety of safety and and serviceability, safety and serviceability before the requirements before before the failure occurs is called as is called as limit state is called as limit state, and the method following follows this is called as limit state method. Okay, so there are some acceptable limits of safety and serviceability requirements. It is considered by this before the failure. So this is nothing but your limit state. Limit means up to the certain limit. Okay, so that is the meaning of this limit state. So there are prominent two types of the limit state. Okay, first is the limit state of collapse, and second is the limit state of serviceability. Okay, so there are two types of the limit state method. First is the limit state of collapse, and then limit state of serviceability. So I will write here two prominent two prominent type of limit state are as follows are as follows. First is the limit state of collapse, limit state of collapse, and second, limit state of serviceability. So these are the two types. This we will see in the next lecture in detail. And here one more thing is there. In India, IS code has completely replaced from ultimate load method by limit state method. So in India now, in the world also, limit state method is very popular, and it is used for the design. Okay. So this is enough for today's lecture. So we will stop over here.